What if I told you that a dusty cassette tape from 1981 could reveal more about music history than any modern chart-topping album? Let's talk about the wild, chaotic birth of the new wave of British heavy metal, and why a single fanzine editor in Sheffield accidentally became a guardian of rock's soul. This isn't just about music, it's about rebellion, forgotten bands, and why some cultural revolutions flame out while others become legends. Back in the late 70s, the music industry was sleepwalking. Stadium rock was bloated, punk had just punched a hole in the wall, and somewhere between the chaos, a bunch of working-class British kids with guitars decided to crank their amps to 11. But here's the twist. The movement that birthed Iron Maiden and Def Leppard wasn't just about the bands. It was about the fanatics who kept it alive. Take Gaz Holmes, a guy who started a magazine called Skullcrusher out of sheer frustration. Personally, I think his story is more fascinating than most band biographies. Why? Because he didn't just write about music, he became its lifeline. Let's unpack this. Holmes wasn't some corporate exec with a marketing plan. He was a failed musician who realized the system was rigged. When his band Zayus collapsed, he bought a Gestadner printing machine, turned his kitchen into a publishing hub, and single-handedly created a platform for overlooked bands. In my opinion, this DIY ethic wasn't just practical, it was political. While major labels ignored local acts like Alex and Fallen Angel, fanzines like Skullcrusher were the Spotify playlists of their day. A detail I find fascinating. He sold those cassettes at Virgin Records and gigs, bypassing traditional channels entirely. That's not just hustle, it's a blueprint for indie culture today. Now, the Steel City Rock compilation, this tape was basically a time capsule of Sheffield's metal scene. But here's what most people miss. It wasn't just about preserving songs. It was about capturing a moment where punk's raw energy collided with Sabbath's heaviness. The NWOBHM wasn't a genre. It was a middle finger to the idea that music had to be polished or pretty. And yet, by the mid-80s, bands like Def Leppard started chasing radio play, trading leather jackets for spandex. What this really suggests is that every counterculture eventually faces a choice: stay underground or sell out. Was that decline inevitable? Maybe. But I'd argue the movement's soul died when it forgot its fanzine roots. Let's zoom out. Why does this matter today? Because we're seeing the same battle play out in the digital age. Independent artists now use Bandcamp and TikTok the way Holmes used his printing machine. The tools change, but the struggle stays the same. Who controls culture? Corporations or the people? A deeper question lingers. Can any art form stay authentic once it goes mainstream? Or is commercial success always a betrayal? So here's my closing thought. The real unsung heroes of music history aren't just the bands we stream today. They're the fanatics like Holmes, the archivists, the zine makers, the ones who scream, "This matters," before anyone else is listening. Without them, entire movements vanish into the void. What forgotten culture are we losing right now because no one's hitting record? And more importantly, what are you doing to keep it alive? Let me know in the comments.